Hello everyone. Today we are going to be learning how to create a hexagon for a hexagon cardigan. So for those who don't know, a hexagon cardigan is a construction method where you create two hexagons, fold them down one of their seams, and just like magic, it creates two sleeves and two front and back panels all in one go. It's a great method to make a cardigan. It works for almost any size body, so it's really great one for basically everyone. It's pretty simple. It starts with the setup of a hexagon, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So first you're going to want to get your yarn. This is Drops Paris Aran weight cotton, and I am using a 6mm hook, which is the size up from what it recommends for this. Because I find if you use the right size hook for your yarn, so the hook that they recommend, I find it makes the fabric a little bit stiff, but obviously that's up to you and your personal preference. So you're going to start by tying your slip knot, however you like. I have got a video on that if you've not watched that one. Pop your hook in, and we are going to start by chaining 4. So you should have watched the slip knot video and the chain stitch video before you get to this one. They go into a lot more detail about this, but I'm just going to chain 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my chain 4, and this is actually going to become a little circle because it's the center part of our hexagon. So all we're going to do is take our hook. We're going to find our first chain, which is just here. We're going to push our hook through it. So you should have your loop, your working loop on the hook, and you should be through a loop. Then you're going to grab your yarn and pull that back through the first one, and then take it into the second one. And just like that, and that's a slip stitch. So now you should have a little yarn donut and one working loop on the hook. Okay, our next step is to chain 2. So I'm going to chain 2, and this is going to be the first stitch in our hexagon. So that counts as the first stitch. So I'm then going to do a double crochet. And just like before, there's a video all about double crochet. So I suggest you watch that if you haven't done this before, because I'm not going to go into too much detail here. I'm going to yarn over, put your hook into the center of the donut, grab a yarn and put it through. So you've got 3 loops on the hook. Then you're going to yarn over and go through 2, and yarn over and go through the other 2. So now you should have 2 posts coming out of your yarny donut. So we're going to add one more to that, another double crochet. Okay, so now you've got 3 double crochets. You're going to chain 2. There's 1, 2. And now we're going to repeat that. We're going to do 3 double crochets and then a chain 2. So we're going to yarn over into the donut, do our double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. So these all make up sides and corners of your hexagon. And a hexagon has 6 sides and 6 points. So we've currently got 1, 2. So we need to do 4 more. So I'm going to work that now, and I'll do it with you. I might speed this bit up, I'm not sure yet. Depends how long it takes me. But yeah, just work along. Feel free to pause the video and rewatch it wherever you want to, and make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, so there's our next 3 doubles. So we're going to chain 2 and go again. So we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and 1, 2, 3. This will be the 4th corner. So 2 more. Okay, and feel free to shuffle them along a bit so you've got some space, because this donut will start to get quite full up. But we've got one more set of doubles, so 3 doubles into the donut. 1, 2, 3. So now we've got 2 sets of doubles next to each other. So you're going to chain 2, then we're going to do a slip stitch again. We're going to go into the top of the first stitch that we did. So if you turn your work slightly, that's this little V here. We're going to take our hook and put it underneath the V. So you'll have 2 pieces on top as well as your working loop. Grab the yarn and put it through, and pull it through the one you're working with. And you now have a hexagon. So you should have 6 sides, 6 points, and it should be relatively flat, but pretty ripply at this point. It's not going to ever sit properly flat, and that's a good thing. So that's how you set up the beginning of your hexagon. Okay, so now we're going to work onto the second row, and the second row is basically the only row you really need to remember, because that's the one you're going to repeat until your hexagon is the right size. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. But first we need to move our working yarn into this corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hook and we're going to put it into the next stitch underneath the chain, grab our yarn and put it through, and pull it through that one. And then we're going to put it through the big hole, the center hole, grab our yarn and put it through. And that's called slip stitching to the corner. So we're now in a corner. And what we're going to do is we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do 3 double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go back into this chain space, into this corner space here. We're going to grab our yarn, do our double. Then we're going to do 2 more next to it in the same space. Okay, so there's our 3. And what we've created there is the next chain space. So this will be the last chain space that we'll work into, and we'll get to that soon. But we're now going to work along our edges. So we're going to miss. So can you see just here, behind my finger, where my finger is underneath, that is a chain stitch, but it will be covered by the 3 doubles that you've just put into the corner. So we're going to do our double, but we're going to miss that bit and we're going to go straight into this one here. Okay, pull that up, do your double crochet. Can you see that? Then we're going to do the next one. Another double crochet. And then we're not going to work into the top of the stitch, we're going to work straight into the corner. So there's only 2 double crochets on this row. So we're going to do our 3 now, because we're in a corner. We always do 3 in the corners. Okay, so we've done our 3. So in this row, we've done 3 double crochets in the corner, then we've done a double, and then 3 double crochets in the next corner. We've missed that first stitch, and we've missed the stitch on the last one, because we're going to work into just those corners instead. If you work into those ones, it starts to make your cardigan a bit too wizard sleevey, a bit too pointy. So that's why we miss them. So we're going to do that again. So we're going to do 3, because we've done our chain 2, and then we're going to double 3 into the corner space. And we're going to do our next side. So again, we're going to miss this one, because that sits underneath, that's inside our corner. So we're going to go straight into this one here. So double crochet into this one here. Okay, next stitch is a double into this one here. And we're going to skip this stitch because we're working into the corner space. With our treble, we need 3 double crochets. And then we're going to turn the corner here, so we want to chain 2 and work 3 more doubles back into this corner space. Okay, so then back along, so we've got our doubles that work into our chains here. 1 double, 2 double, and then into our corner. And we're going to repeat this all the way along. So I'm going to carry on and I'm going to meet you back when we come around to this penultimate corner, okay? Okay, so I've worked my way around and I've just done 3 double crochets in the penultimate corner and my chain 2. So I'm going to do 3 more now. 1, 2, 3. So then just like before, we're going to work in these chains. They're a little bit tougher because they've been slip stitched into, but you just need to make sure you get 2 in this space. So I'm going to go in here. That's it. Pull your yarn through, double crochet. I'm going to go in here next. Double crochet. So we've now come to the first corner you set up. And in the first corner you set up, do you remember you started with the chain 4? Well, the first 2 chains of that chain 4 make up your last double crochet. So you now just need to do 2 double crochets into the corner space in front of this one. So I'm going to do that now with you. So we're going to yarn over, put our hook into the corner space and grab our yarn and pull that up. I'm going to yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. So now we'll do another one in the middle. So yarn over, back into that corner space, pull your yarn through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And what you've got now is 2 double crochets and then your original 4 chains. So we're just going to put our hook into that corner, pull our yarn through and slip stitch to join that. So can you see that? So now you've got, it works like you've got 3 double crochets into your chain 2 space. And that is how you set up and do your first row of a hexagon. So now you're going to move on to your next row. You're going to chain 4 just like before. So we're basically repeating exactly what we've just done, but over more stitches. So you've done 4. I'm going to start this off for you, but I probably won't finish the row because I just want to show you how to do that first part of the row. So just like before, we're going to chain 4. We're going to do 3 double crochets into the corner space. There you go. So then just like before, we're going to skip this chain here because that's part of your corner and work straight into the next stitch in double crochet. And then we're going to work along our row. So obviously there's more than 2 in this one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more double crochets to do in this row till we get to our corner. So we're just going to do that like we did before. One more. There we go. And then just like before, we're going to skip this chain because we're going to work into the chain space instead, into the corner space. I'm going to do our 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 2 and do our 3 double crochets. And then you're on to your next row. So you carry on like that for every single row of your cardigan. And basically you just keep building your cardigan bigger and bigger And then once you reach the size you need, you fold it in half and it becomes 2 panels. So to put that into perspective, this is a cardigan I'm making for my daughter. She is nearly 5. So this is my hexagon. So I've worked round and round that hexagon, and as you can see, it doesn't lie flat. The bigger it gets, the more curly it becomes. It's got 6 sides, and it's just a repeat of going around doing your edges and your corner spaces. And what you do is you take 2 of your corners and fold it like that. See that? And it becomes your sleeve and your front and back of your cardigan. So for an adult, you would keep going. And basically, all you want to do is keep going until from about here, where your shoulder sits to your armpit, that depth is the same as your shoulder to armpit depth. And there you have it, the hexagon cardigan. You can make cropped cardigans, long cardigans, and just keep going. And this is step 1, setting up your hexagon.